Crash the Ambulance is a song from the Shangri-La record, released back in 2004, and the penultimate song I have to cover from this album, because it's probably my favorite Mark Knopfler solo album, and I talked about nearly all the songs from it. Apart from the B-side Summer of Love, the only album track left is Donegan's Gone. People seem to universally agree on the meaning of the song Don't Crash the Ambulance and its political context, which happens to be relevant even today, and reads without a doubt, because politicians never change. I couldn't pick a better song for my comeback on the channel. On another note, it's also worth mentioning that the Malibu studio where the album was recorded and named after survived the recent Palisades fire, which occurred in January of this year. The whole album was praised for its storytelling. Lines like, "You've even got a whistle in there for attracting attention," are a good example, or honestly every line. Listeners, including myself, love these witty lyrics. I love the way the song sounds like a tango version of Postcards from Paraguay. Which is a fan favorite from the album anyway, so I can't complain about that. Native and not so native speakers and poetry lovers have much fun reading and analyzing the lyrics for this song. So overall, it's Mark Knopfler at his best once again, for the 96th time on this channel. But I'm not here to talk about Bush though, so let's talk guitar. Musically, the song is relatively easy, with clear changes and simple structure, approachable strumming and slow, twangy solos. The devil, as always, is in the details. Before I learned this song for this video, for some reason I would play it like this, so without a capo and A minor, F, E. So somehow all these years I got the general chord shapes right, even though it's actually in B minor with a capo on the 2nd fret. So I remembered it in the right shapes, but not necessarily the right key. But I never truly studied this song anyway, and I just realized how much I was missing. And in a typical Knopfler style, playing the song like this would be too simple and maybe even disrespectful for the song. Because we're talking about a single acoustic guitar here, and to make this song work on its own, you've got to make the rhythm guitar part more interesting. Not for the sake of difficulty, but for the sake of a sound, good sound, and listening experience. That's one of the reasons I love doing these song breakdowns so much, because Mark always approaches rhythm guitar on all his albums as if it's the only instrument on the record, especially if he plays the rhythm himself. You can easily play simplified shapes just like I did. And only a few could notice the difference, but it is there, and it's night and day. The way I hear the guitar part is this. More refined and beautiful with subtleties, more work with bass, more elegant, sophisticated, all these things. And instead of 3 cowboy chords in this intro, you've got way fancier ones and even a little call and response situation, but more on that later. What I do here, I start with A minor, And already you can see I'm emphasizing the bass right from the start. And I even employ this unusual picking pattern, which I can't remember from other songs, where I essentially play a bass line with my thumb, and the rest of the rhythm is completely in the background. Almost sounds like two instruments, and certainly sounds like it belongs on Mark Knopfler's album. The second chord happens to be F major 7th, but I like to play it in one of the easiest configurations of this chord, missing the root on the 6th string. So I play mute, 3, 3, 2, 1, open. Even this move alone here is so great. Instead of boring A minor to F, you have this interesting A minor to F major 7th with C in the bass. And of course, the common E on top here, which then goes neatly to the second part. And this part is replacing the E chord in my simplified 3-chord version I played earlier. I approach it with this E sus chord and B bass, and finish it off with a regular E 7th and mighty open E string. The 7th is on the 4th string here. Even more still, I don't sit for a long time on this suspended chord. Almost immediately I change it to the 7th chord. The picking hand pattern, like I said, is unusual and looks something like this. First of all, my hand position is unusual because I play these loud bass notes. And I like to do a rest stroke here and actually land on the next string. And to do that, I roll my hand forward, almost in a classical guitar position. Or you can also describe it like bass playing, pretty much, bass playing position. If you've ever seen a Fender bass with a finger rest down here, you're supposed to play it like this. I think early Brian Wilson is the perfect example of this technique. So I play loud bass with my thumb and rest stroke, and follow it with another thumb move. This time it's thumb downstroke, as I call it. Playing 2 or 3 strings in a single thumb motion, but never one string. After this, I add a regular up-down move with my fingers, all 3 fingers. For the first chord is this fast downstroke. And on the second chord, it's more like a regular eighth note strumming. There are 2 types of rhythm here. One is on the beat, like A minor, and E sus4. This fast type of rhythm. And the other two chords fall on 2 and. In the sheet music you can see the first rhythm here. 8th note followed by 2 16th notes and another 8. The first rhythm is very easy to practice, and if I play all 4 chords with this rhythm, it would sound something like this. And you can loop it. And shorten the suspended chord while you're at it. The second rhythm, however, is very tricky to wrap your head around, as it's extremely syncopated. So the first thumb bass now is on the weakest beat, and the second thumb is now on the strongest beat. 1, 1. So the second thumb is on the 1 here. 1, 1, 1. And notice this rhythm is more even because it's all just 8th notes. And I can also loop this rhythm and play all the chords like this, though it's very tricky, like I said. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And the idea here, you guessed it, is to practice these two rhythms separately to then combine them into the intro of the song. It goes straight, syncopated, straight, syncopated. I love this bass melody. And even more again, to make this little intro even more interesting, the way I hear it, Mark is actually approaching it as a 2-part intro. Let me explain. Like I said in the beginning, on the surface, what you have is just 3 chords in a loop. A minor, F, E. Then the first level of complexity would be to apply all the stuff I discussed a few minutes ago, and then wrap it into 2 parts. In music, usually, most riffs and motifs are in 2 parts because it sounds more lively, interesting and natural, like a conversation. Money for Nothing is a perfect example of a 2-part riff with clear call and response. In Don't Crash the Ambulance intro, the way it works is this. I play A minor, F, sus to E7. And the second time I play it, it has a different ending. A minor, F, and then straight to E7. Maybe even add a little Sultan So Swing, Resguiado like this. And what you get, instead of thinking about this intro like just 4 repetitions of A minor to F to E, it becomes just 2 repetitions, but this call and response thing. Repeat. Making it more alive, more interesting and complex just enough, or in other words, makes it perfect. That's Mark Knopfler's Don't Crash the Ambulance. As for the rest of the song, if you went through all the trouble of making the intro sound good, the rest of the song would be very easy, or should be very easy. But I would strongly recommend following a chord chart. It's one of those songs, and you'll understand why in a second. The verse starts with A minor, then goes to E7. And for this chord, Mark uses this grip with the 7th on the 2nd string, which again sounds better, suits the song better, and gives it more character. So I would use E7 with the 7th on the 4th string in the intro, and this E7 in the rest of the song. Next thing is this falling bass from A minor to C with G in the bass, to F, to A minor with E in the bass, D minor, D minor with C in the bass, D minor with B in the bass, and E7. Again. The cojones part, haha, is F, E7, A minor. Repeat for C over G. F, E7, A minor. Then going down from F to A minor with E in the bass to D minor, just like before. But this time it stays on D minor for 2 bars. Then C major to E7, repeat from F and over to you, don't crash an ambulance, and ends with E7 through G. So as you can see, it's incredibly confusing, and this is a perfect song to try to write down or follow a chord chart. I of course will provide one in the description as usual. Whatever you do. A lot of parts in this song, so to learn it properly, you have to either play it a million times or just write it down. Also, don't forget about this quiet break from A minor to E7. This big one, don't be a mistake. Listen to the boys. Whatever you do. But going through the chord chart without understanding how rhythm works in this song makes no sense. So hopefully I helped you with that. That's all for now. Subscribe if you like my work. I plan to do more breakdowns like this and continue my Knopfler streak, because there are still so many great songs left to learn. Check out my older videos, as I've been discussing Mark's music for almost 10 years already. or support me on Patreon. This enables me to continue doing what I do, buy new instruments like my new bass, and the new equipment like new cameras and new microphones. Cheers and thanks for watching.